Hi everyone, welcome on board to PR0FIL, where you get the reliable news that is tailored for you, and of course where you can actually comment and interact.
Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has revealed the secret mission of the Chinese doctors against Nigerians. He claimed that he received an international call telling him that Chinese doctors in Nigeria have a plan to test the coronavirus vaccine there. If you could recall, recently I told you that Chinese doctors are arriving in Nigeria and they are already in Nigeria and they are there to manage the health condition of their citizens. That is the Chinese construction company, CECC, I think that's the name of the company in Nigeria. And a lot of people have also said that these people are coming to Africa to test the supposed vaccine on Nigerians, on Africans. And some people have also posited, they said that the Nigerian government are actually inviting them in so as to treat themselves, since they do not have the opportunity to travel outside of the country like they oftentimes do. Now, Nigeria Medical Association have frowned at this. Medical practitioners, they frowned at this. They said, this is not acceptable. We do not want this. We are capable enough. We can actually do this here in Nigeria. We can take care of our people. All we need is equipment and facilities. And if you're going to bring in anyone, according to Lagos State government, let it be certain specific fields, not medical doctors. Anyway, Nnamdi Kanu wrote, racism or not, at least those French doctors were honest. I talked to you about certain French scientists and doctors in France. This is not leaked. This is a live television show where they were heard, seen, discussing how they are going to test the coronavirus vaccine in Africa, because Africa is simply a testing ground for them. And listening to all of this, one cannot think too far. You don't need to wander too far that this is just what it is all about. This is what life is all about. This is what this group of people see you as Africans as. And why is this? First, human nature. People can be wicked, people can be evil. And moreover, your leaders have not represented you properly. And you yourself, you should at this point begin to demand for what is better for yourself, for you as a citizen. Now, these doctors were heard saying that they will test this coronavirus vaccine in Nigeria, just like how they tested the HIV/AIDS drugs on prostitutes in Africa. Somehow, they found a way of infecting people in Africa with the HIV/AIDS. We've heard stories of this, how they did that in South Africa to decimate the people, to reduce the people. If you check Africa, you realize that South Africa has the highest number of HIV/AIDS positive people. And they use this to demoralize them, all because they want to steal their land, steal their resources. It is the same logic till today. If it is not slavery, it is colonization. If it's not colonization, it is neo-colonization. And that is what is effective as of this moment. Now, at this point that we are, no one can practice any of this neo-colonization on you or even colonize you if you don't give them the opportunity, open up your hands for them to do this. This is a very trying time that we are living in. And the only thing such people could talk about is how they are going to test the coronavirus vaccine in Nigeria, in Africa, in Gambia, in Ghana, in Congo, in Sierra Leone, in any of these African countries. That is their wish. They are not looking at themselves, and they are the second hit aside China, where this originated from. They are. And this virus is spreading astronomically over there and killing a lot of their people over there. So, back to what Nnamdi Kanu said. He said, as I came off air a short while ago, I received an intriguing call from a source I can only describe as unusual, but highly credible. He said, I should warn the Nigerians not to submit themselves for any vaccination by the Chinese. I politely reminded him that I am not a Nigerian, but a Biafran. He said very well, but that he only called to warn me because once any group or persons or whoever gets that injection or are injected with whatever substance the Chinese brought to them, an entire community will become infected, something must definitely go wrong. These people do not see you as humans, as your leaders have made sure that this narrative continues to be true. Just imagine Buhari representing Nigeria abroad. He was asked, what is the job of your wife in your government? He said, my wife belongs to the kitchen and the other room. Now, one would have thought maybe he was making a joke. No, that is actually the culture and the tenets and the principles of Hausa Fulani, and probably the kind of Islam that they practice over there. If you see the way things are done there, you realize that he's only repeating the same. He was never politically correct. He was asked, what are the plans for detaining young youth in your country? He was talking something else about climate change and things that do not make sense. If you have represented yourself out there nationally, internationally with such a person, what else do you expect them to believe? To see you much more than what you think you are? It is so sad. That is why you should join the moving train. Join the progressive train. Let the country break apart. The people that want to pronounce COVID-19, let them stay in their zone. And let the progressive people move to the next level. So he went further. I asked him why he just talking about this, giving it that a vaccine should help. I asked him why, giving it's just a vaccine and humanity has been taking them for centuries. He said that the Chinese have with them are experimental drugs, experimental vaccines, not even cleared for clinical trial in China. And they've brought this down to Africa to test it on the citizens, to test it on Africans, to see how they are going to respond to this. Simply put, guinea pigs. It should not be in Nigeria. Before I finish saying thank you, he hung up. That left me wondering why a country with no leadership, no clear strategy like Nigeria, badly run, heavily in debt, and without any identifiable person in charge of the machinery of governance, would engage China of all countries, the same country that got the virus. If you need to concur or you need to agree or you need to get facts, why can't you do that using the internet as a technology and speak to those Chinese professionals as to what you need to do if you think they have more experience? Why would they be here? Although it is reported that they quarantined the Chinese people, but I don't think they are smart enough to have CCTV installed and technology and to make sure that the doctors are 24 hours with them to make sure that they do not infect the citizens, and also make it clear this is not a testing ground. But alas, we are riddled. We are forcefully riddled with people that are even medical doctors, people that are not only from the north, from even the south, that have shown over time that they have nothing upstairs. They begin to shake like leaves when they come in contact with other race. It's a shame. It is not acceptable, and we shouldn't take this at all. So he went further to say, why should Nigeria engage China of all countries to run a program of vaccination with untested experimental drugs on Africans in Africa when Chinese people who are dying of COVID-19 infections are themselves not being vaccinated? I recall the intel IPOBI command received at the start of this pandemic regarding some governments in Europe being fully aware as far back as 2010 that mankind faced a mortal danger with the release of a weaponized virus. More crucially, a COVID-19 vaccine won't be available until January 2021 at the latest. So what are the Chinese planning to inject into our veins, into our people? At least French doctors were open and honest about desiring to test their vaccine on Africans, but the Chinese government cunningly used a crumbling rogue regime desperately hanging for its dear life to roll out a testing program for their vaccine on hapless Africans. So sad. This suicidal and frankly speaking, mad, politically expedient decision by untutored, unlearned Fulani minds in Aso Rock will drag millions to their early grave. As unwilling lab animals, as guinea pigs, they must be resisted by all means and at all cost. The regime has collapsed, but it seems they are determined to take as many lives of them as possible, courtesy of the Chinese scientists. Now, I understand the meaning of God punish you. It doesn't mean God will literally come down from heaven to administer any form of retributive justice or any punitive measures on you. What it means is that you will remain in Nigeria, which in itself is the cruelest form of punishment and a curse from God. It's so sad. It's so sad. And it's so terrible. China recently sold 432 million euros in medicine and in apparel and equipment to Spain. And they are returning some of them back because they say they are faulty, unusable. Even Ireland and United Kingdom, a lot of problems here and there. In fact, equipment from Luxembourg down to the United Kingdom also had infections, the coronavirus already on it. So we are in a state that everyone has to be extremely careful. I don't know what you guys think of this. Let us meet at the comment section below.
I say a very big thank you to those who have taken time to subscribe to this channel, and if you're yet to subscribe, kindly tap on that subscription button and also the red bell icon so you will be notified whenever videos such as this are uploaded.